Hi, I'm Laurie at Sew Right, and we're about to unbox this Q16 Plus by Bernina. It comes in this beautifully made box. I keep all my boxes. I know it's weird, but I do. So to open up the box, I'm going to take this little flap and just simply open that up. I'm going to then use my finger, pull that, and here we go. Alrighty, what's in this top layer, you ask? We have a nice assortment of threads, Mettler threads that work well with the Q16 Plus. We have a number of different types of screwdrivers to use on assembly. We have the instruction manual and warranty card. We have the power cord. I'm going to put them back as I go along. We have this great bobbin case tension gauge, which is great for making sure your bobbin adjustments are going well, because a smooth stitch is very important when you're quilting. We have our foot pedal. We have our dual thread stand that we're going to mount on top of the machine. In addition to that component, we have a second component that mounts on top that allows thread delivery to go smoothly when using this thread stand. All right, that is the first layer, I believe. All right. Now I'm going to take this huge styrofoam cage and lift it up, and we'll see what the machine looks like before we put it on the table. Okay, when you remove that top layer, behold, here's the machine itself. Here's the Q16 Plus. This is where I would recommend getting a friend, a family member, to help you get her out of her little styrofoam housing, and then put her in the table. We'll do that in part 2 of this video. But there's some nice handholds, so that way you have a good grasp on her when you lift her up and flip her upright to get her in position. All right? So I had a buddy help me install it into this nice hydraulic lift table. It was a pretty simple process. You just have to lift it under this area here to get it into the cutout. There are a couple of acrylic pieces built into the machine or attached or included with the table. There's a back piece, and then we've got this front piece. And depending on which model machine you have, either the Q16 Plus, Q16, or Q20, we have a cutout designed for it. So this footprint's 4 inches shorter than the Q20. So this acrylic plate allows for that area here. Okay? The one thing I had to do before we turn on this machine is put in the thread delivery system, which is right up here. So there's a little nut and a little screw and a bolt. You slide it in the trough and then tighten it. It butts up nicely to the frame of the head of the machine. The other component is the top part of the thread delivery system, which looks like this. And it can't go any which way. There is an arrow, and that arrow faces the front of the machine. And that way we can assure that the thread is delivered smoothly when you're quilting. Okay, now I'm going to turn the machine on. So the power button's here. There are all these other connections here because this Q16 Plus, unlike the Q16, can be converted into a long arm machine. So handles can be installed, other accessories can be included and added to the machine. So they're all back here. So if you should ever change your mind and want a long arm, she can still work as your long arm. All right, now we're going to go to the front of the machine and check out the great lighting. Before we do that, I want you to take a look at this. This tag shows you who built the machine. And the nice thing is, I believe one master technician builds the whole machine from start to finish. And they test it. So they want to make sure that everything is quality controlled. All right, you can see that I've got my foot pedal here. Where does this go? It doesn't look like it fits anywhere in your traditional machine. So what happens is you're going to lay this on the ground, and there is a side port over here. And this is the bobbin area, so I'm just going to stick it in the port.
And you could replace just the foot pedal. If it doesn't
All right, now you're ready to go using your foot pedal. Since I'm down here, this is where your bobbin and bobbin case live. And these little mechanisms, what the heck are they? These are your BSRs. So you've got two built into the machine. It's not something externally that you have to add on. They're built right into the machine. Not into the table, but the machine. All right, we're ready to go.